And I'm going to create a very basic lighting scene with the Suzanne monkey and grid as a ground. Yeah, so select this, and then if you render, I have this sun coming from the side to cast the shadow onto the ground. But if you don't have this sunlight, if you go to DPPT or Deep and go to the global setting and hit Add World, that's going to create the white background. But you should have this button, DP Sunlight, and this one's going to create the sunlight in the scene. So I'm going to apply the basic material, which is the DPM. It's a toon shader, meaning deep paint material. And you select the geometry and hit DPM. And now we have this two-tone toon shader applied, right? And we have this control, DPM control. The default shading is blue color, but you can change it from here if you want a different color or make it dark or whatever. And you have a value control to change the strength and the ambient occlusion values. And by default, the grain is turned on, but you can turn off with this button, grain, and you have a control to change the size, value, and stuff. And also the shading control here. Yeah, make it shade smooth and yeah, and also saturation and value and stuff, right? But if you want to go back to the original default, you can select and then hit reset DPM, and that's going to bring back to the original DPM. So DPM is based on the vertex paint color. At the moment, it's a white for each vertex point, but you can change it with the vertex paint here and change the color, and then you can just simply paint to the point, vertex point, right? Right mouse button and then change the color. And with the shift, you can blur the paint so it gets more softer look, right? And you have this secondary color set to white, and if you click Control and then paint, and that's gonna paint white, and then again shift and make it soft. So that's how you paint vertex paint to the geometry, right? Oh, by the way, grain is based on the scale. So if you scale it, the grain also gets bigger. But if you apply scale button here, that's going to set to a default size. Right. So the vertex paint is good that you don't have to worry about texture, but then eh, you don't have much of a detail because you're just painting to the point. You don't have much point in here. But to have more detail, you should paint with the texture, right? So click this geometry and then hit add texture from this section. And you should have this pop-up window. And there's a few options in here. You can change the resolution. 1K is fine for now. And you can change the name. And UV, if you have a UV, you don't need to check this one. If you don't, you should check this one. But then you should have this alpha and text mix group and auto connect turned on, and then check this one so that you don't overwrite the DPM, and you can change the name. But if I just hit OK, yeah, this one's going to create the new DPM 001, right? So now the texture map is plugged in, so I can just paint now. So there's a few brushes in here. I will change the color first, and then maybe grab the pastel, and you can simply paint, right? Or like a speckle, yeah, like this. So again, the with the shift, you can blur the texture, but also Control Shift, you can smudge the texture like this, right? Yeah, so we have these options to paint um, texture. And then once you like it, or if you want to save it texture, you should do that from here. Save the texture button. You have that on the right mouse button window and save the texture, right? So this is how you paint a texture map. And there's another option. There's a noise. You can mix the noise texture and yeah, select the geometry and then add noise mix. This one is the noise texture mix using projection map, but using a vertex paint mask. At the moment, it's all black. It's gonna create automatically this mask, but then it's all black at the moment. But you can paint the mask with the control because secondary color is set to white, and yeah, this is about to explain to the geometry. So now I'm painting white mask, and then texture is mixed to that one, and yeah, so it's not quite visible. I will change it to maybe red. Yeah. So this is good. If you don't want to paint the texture map, you can simply project to the geometry. And yeah, if you open this one, you can change the contrast like this. Yeah, you can also change the color. So that this one's gonna make more detailed look without that, texture paint. And there's a few texture mask map you can change like this. But also, since this is box projection, you can change the size from here if you want to make it different size. Yeah, something like that. It's only one color at the moment, but you can plug it in the material to make it more different color or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, using a texture map and noise to make it more, complex image, but also there's a jitter texture you can mix um, and hit add mix. This one's a little bit, it needs some bit of adjustment, but this texture map I painted, you can mix it so it gets even more um, complex. It's getting a bit messy, but yeah, you can play around to make it more interesting look. Yeah, so that's how you make painterly look and stylized image, and then you can change you have a control to change it. You don't have to go to the shading network to do this. So, oh, by the way, there's an outline you can apply. There's this control to change the thickness or displacement or noise size. And if you click this triangle, it's going to affect only to the outline, so it doesn't change this basic shape. And then you can simply hit X to delete it. But also there's a noise edge. You can change the edge with some noise, so it makes more softer look. Yeah. And then there's a rim outline. This one works for the single mesh rather than solid mesh. So if you have a single geometry, you hit this one, and that's going to apply outline to the single mesh. Yeah, so that's the basic process to make a stylized image. So this is DPM, but there's also DPM2 that you can apply from here. And this is a little different material that if you change the light intensity and also the light color, that's going to affect to the object, which it doesn't do for DPM. And yeah, so if you have like a point light, you can put some color, and that's going to affect to the object. And so this one maybe works better for the night scene. You can make it kind of really dark shade, and you can make it more night look. So there's option for different look using a DPM too. Okay, so we have this model I'm sharing, and then we'll use this one for demonstration. And yeah, to begin with, I can change the random look, and then again have the add word to have a white background, and then I already have a sun, and I can apply the whole DPM to this geometry, selecting the whole geometry and hit DPM. And yeah, this one's gonna take a little bit while. Yeah, so we have this one. The white background is a little bit too similar to the geometry, so make it like 0.3 to the world color. Yeah, so I will start with this tree, and I will do a vertex paint to begin with. Control or W to hide the window, and then yeah, I will just apply the green color, right? And you can hit this one, set vertex color to fill the whole color to the geometry. So I will do a blocking and do this tree. Yeah, green and brown to the trunk. So this is very simple because it's just one color, but I should have a bit of a variation using a vertex paint. So do it a little bit different color. Yeah, you can make it darker, some area and stuff, right? So a bit of a variation to that color. Also to the trunk, can make it a bit of light color, some area, maybe some dark area, and then shift to mix, right? So it's a bit more painterly look than before, I guess. And now we can do a texture paint to make it more complex. And select this one and hit add text, right? So this time I don't have a UV, so click this one and hit new material. I could rename, but yeah, that's fine. Hit OK. And then you can paint some texture, right? Yeah. Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah. Take a bit of time to paint the color. You should have a good reference, but I don't have one at the moment. It's just randomly I'm painting, but yeah, once you like it, just save it, right? Yeah, to the trunk as well. I should apply add text and hit OK, and I can paint something like this. It's a bit more complex texture field to the object, right? Yeah. Save again. So this is basic stuff, how you do it. You can do outline if you want to. It's just size of a outline and stuff. Or how about softer edge? Yeah. So um to this house, I'll do a blocking color first. And yeah, let's make a orange roof. By the way, you can open this one while on the Vertex Paint, and then you can make a palette to save the color if you want to. I'll just apply one color and yeah, maybe a little bit different color to the roof. Yeah, so it's gonna be a blocking color to begin with, right? And it's a bit too simple at the moment, but we can make it more interesting later. Yeah, just applying some yeah. Hmm. Yeah, so this is not too bad. Um, but it's too simple again, right? Yeah, so we can make a bit of a variation to the geometry of a vertex, mixing some mossy green maybe. Yeah, just randomize the look. Yeah, right? For this roof, maybe I can use the texture map, right? Text, and then yeah, add UV and make a new material and hit OK. One case may be fine. And then I can paint even more detail. I need some noise, right? Yeah, not bad. Uh, Maybe having a bird poo type of white. Smudge it. Mm, maybe it's too white. Yeah, whatever. And then save it, right? Yeah. Yeah, I can do that to this one to a text. Okay. Just randomly add in some texture. Yeah, this one's gonna give you more detail than just a Barrex paint, right? But then um, texture paint is good. You can control um, by painting and the more detail. But maybe I will try some noise mix, and that's gonna be a lot more easier to have a more detail. Let's see if we can do it to this whole geometry. And I will just copy material so I don't overwrite the DPM. Hit OK. And then I will add noise. Sorry, not this one. This texture paint noise. Oops, did I select? Yeah, select this one and add noise mix. Yeah, and then maybe a bit more different color. You see I'm adding some noise texture. Maybe a bit heavy, but I can adjust with this opacity. Yeah, and also change the contrast, right? So this sounds easy because you don't um, have to organize the texture map. You don't have to apply the texture map, but then, yeah, this may be too dirty. Yeah. So I spent a little bit time and adjusted some look and balanced up the color a bit. And I think I'm happy with the look now. So at the end of the project, I usually change the contrast value, go to the global settings, and hit this high contrast. I have a preset, but you can adjust the gamma and exposure by yourself. And yeah, just make it a bit more punchy look if you want. And then, yeah, there's a use curve to adjust the red channel values and greens and stuff. And yeah, And then I